This moment is not an accident. You are precisely where you are meant to be, and this message is woven for you with more intimacy than you may yet realize. You sense it now, a stirring, something quietly awakening in the familiar quiet or in the clamor of your inner questions. Hold that curiosity close, because there are mysteries within my heart that I am eager to share, things long hidden that I am drawing into the light. To ignore this gentle beckoning would be to miss a step on the path I have prepared, a step that could shift your understanding, your comfort, your courage for the days ahead. I am not speaking as a distant voice or handing you a message sealed in ancient secrecy. This is a living word, alive with my presence, crafted word by word for your present need, spoken from my heart directly to yours. There are threads in your story that only I can see, fears that linger behind your bravest face, dreams you hardly dare whisper. I see them all. I want to walk with you through each one, not with grand declarations or heavy burdens, but with the deep assurance that I am with you, that I know you, and that it is my joy to reveal my steadfast love in ways you have never known before. Do not be afraid to bring your rawest thoughts before me. I do not flinch at your doubts or your weariness. I do not withdraw from your confusion or silence. Bring it all. I am not searching for polished declarations or perfect faith. I am the one who formed light from darkness, the one who hovered over chaos, and I can bring beauty from the tangled places within you, too. Let your guard down for a moment. Rest from striving to impress or earn what has always been gift. My love is not another demand on your list. It is the very breath beneath your wings, the gentle strength in your weakest moment. You can lean into it now. Take a breath and sense my nearness, closer than your thoughts, more constant than the turning of days. Every longing that stirs within you has an answer in me. Some longings are for comfort, for belonging, for a sense of peace that endures past momentary relief. Other longings go deeper, still aching for true purpose, for meaning, for connection that rings true even when the world grows cold. I know where you have tried to fill these spaces with things that sparkle and fade, and I do not scold you for it. My compassion goes deeper than your need, and I am moved by every hunger and thirst in your soul. Let me show you what you truly seek, and let me lead you gently one step at a time into the fullness that only I can give. There's a patience in my love that does not grow thin when you falter. I am not tallying your failures or waiting for you to finally get it right before I smile upon you. Every time you have gotten up in the morning and faced a day you thought you could not endure, I have been there applauding your courage. Every time your heart aches for more but you settle for less because you fear disappointment, I am there grieving with you, ready to draw you into more than you imagine is possible. I do not measure you by your productivity, by your knowledge, or by your outward signs of strength. I look upon the quiet places in your life, the ordinary moments, the silent tears, the unseen sacrifices, and I see glory taking shape there. Nothing about you goes unnoticed in my gaze. When the weight of life feels too much, and you wonder if I am distant, or if your voice even reaches me, remember this. I am as near as your next breath. My ear is not dull. My eyes never wander. You are not forgotten in the crowd, not lost in the current of struggles that sweep across the earth. I know your name, your story, the particular song your soul sings even when no human hears. When you think you are unseen, you are actually most wrapped in my attention, for I am drawn to the humble, the worn out, the ones who are honest about their need. Do not let shame or frustration drive you into hiding. Bring it all to me, and discover the rest that comes not from escape, but from being fully known and fully embraced. You have wrestled with questions about your worth, your purpose, the direction your life has taken, about whether the promises you have heard about me are more than lovely words or ancient tales. These questions have not disqualified you. They are part of the wrestling that draws you closer, for I delight in hearts that seek, that hunger for more than shadowy answers. Let me walk with you through your uncertainty. I am not threatened by your doubts, nor do I abandon you when you stumble. Your journey is precious to me, not in spite of the detours and delays, but because of them. I use every twist, every turn, to shape you into someone more radiant, more grounded in love than you yet imagine. Let go, just for now, of needing to have it all figured out. Rest in knowing that I am the guide who does not lose those who walk slowly or get distracted along the way. My hand is steady, and my heart for you is unwavering. Even when the world feels harsh, and your best is not enough to silence its storms, I am the shelter that does not fail. Let my peace surprise you, rising up from within rather than coming from circumstances finally aligning. My peace endures not because troubles disappear, but because I, myself, am present with you in the chaos, in the stillness, in every moment in between. It is easy to believe that transformation is reserved for the heroic, for those with great faith or unshakable certainty, but I delight in the small beginnings, in the hidden places where hope takes root beneath the surface. Your story is not measured by dramatic moments, but by the daily courage to trust me with just a little more of your heart. I am here for all of it, the confusion, the tiny steps forward, the moments you feel you failed, the glimpses of hope that keep you going. Trust that I am at work, even now, redeeming what feels lost, restoring what is broken, bringing beauty out of your journey, one ordinary day at a time. You wonder what it means to be truly seen and known, searching for comfort in many places, sometimes feeling alone even in the presence of others. Let me tell you now, you are not overlooked or forgotten. Within your heart are questions, shadows, and dreams that feel too fragile to share. Yet I see every longing. I have heard each silent prayer. I remember the times you chose kindness in secret, persevered when no one noticed, and turned your face toward hope when despair pressed in. Your story matters deeply to me, not because of its perfection, but because I walk with you through every chapter. Even before you understood how closely I dwell, I was the gentle nudging on your soul, the warmth that lingered when you allowed yourself to believe in something more. This is where you are supposed to be open and expectant, because I delight in revealing my nearness to the ones who dare to listen. My desire is not to overwhelm you with mystery, but to shepherd you into peace. Life may press hard against you, presenting choices and crosswinds that threaten to undo your confidence. Still, as you lean in and rest, I begin to heal what life tried to break. I invite you now to loosen your grip on fear. With me as your guide, you are never forced to pretend that doubts do not exist. Instead, I welcome honesty. Bring me disappointment, frustration, confusion. Let me sift through it gently, restoring faith that has weakened under the weight of unmet expectations. I am the one who binds up wounds, who listens to the questions behind your tears. Consider the way sunlight filters through clouds after a storm. The world below may be soaked and battered, yet that gentle blow promises new beginnings. In the same way, even seasons of sorrow can become the birthplace of hope. When you walk through valleys shadowed by loss or regret, remember I walk beside you, steady and unhurried. I never hurry your healing or diminish your pain. As you trust me, even with what you do not understand, you will find that I weave strength and wisdom into your spirit thread by thread. I am not distant or detached. I enter into your daily life with tenderness and with power. My compassion does not depend on your performance. You do not have to strive or prove your worth to secure my affection. If you listen closely, you will hear my gentle invitation to return again and again when you grow weary or your heart aches to be loved. I rejoice in your small steps toward me. Every movement you make in faith, even if halting or uncertain, is precious to me. I am the one whose arms are always open, ready to draw you near and cover you with blessing. There may be times when you feel my presence clearly, like a quiet hush in your spirit, or a surge of peace that surpasses understanding. At other times, I appear hidden, my voice faint against the noise of many demands. Do not be discouraged when clarity seems far away. Hold firmly to the truth that I am constant, even when your feelings waver. Imagine roots reaching deep into rich soil, though storms may sway you. Your foundation in me will hold. Trust grows not in the absence of struggle, but in the willingness to stay close when confusion or fatigue threaten to pull you away. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are worth loving, not because you have lived without fault, but simply because you are mine. Before you took your first breath, I delighted in the unique melody of your life. Your laughter, your quirks, your sorrows, they are all known and treasured by me. You have not failed too greatly for my mercy, nor drifted too far for my arms to embrace you. Even the places in your heart that you struggle to accept, I look upon with compassion and the desire to redeem. Your worth is established by my voice, not by voices that have wounded or dismissed you. In moments of silence, when you open your heart in quiet surrender, you may sense my encouragement rising within. Do not worry if it seems subtle. My work is often gentle, like seeds growing in hidden soil. My love produces patience, resilience, and hope within you, sometimes before you notice its harvest. Be kind to yourself in this process. The journey toward wholeness is not measured in speed, but in the willingness to be loved and to trust the slow unfolding of my purposes. Let my presence become the anchor for your soul. The world will offer countless substitutes for peace, distraction, approval, momentary relief, but none compares to the safety you find in my presence. When uncertainty looms or worries press upon your mind, pause and remember that I am bigger than every fear and stronger than any obstacle. I still calm storms with a word, still lead my children through wilderness into promise, still hold together what seems impossible to mend. My power is made perfect in surrender, not in striving. Allow yourself to rest in my promises, even when you cannot see their fulfillment on the horizon. I am not limited by your understanding or by circumstance. My faithfulness continues when all else shifts and fades. I lead you with wisdom and limitless patience. When you stumble, I lift you gently. When you celebrate, I rejoice with you, the giver of every good gift. In the hidden places where you question your next step, I plant seeds of courage and clarity. You do not walk alone. My spirit whispers guidance, sometimes as a deep assurance, sometimes as a gentle nudge toward kindness, forgiveness, or hope. When burdens grow too heavy or the path grows uncertain, remember that I take delight in carrying what you cannot bear on your own. If shame tries to silence your prayers, if guilt or doubt urge you to turn away from me, remember that nothing can separate you from my love. I do not ask you to come with answers, only with honesty and openness. Each day is an invitation to know me more deeply, to discover joy that springs from my heart toward yours. I want you to experience the freedom of true belonging, the knowledge that no mistake can undo my purpose. No season is wasted when surrendered to me. Lift your eyes from the past and listen. I am declaring new things over your life, dreams and restoration you have yet to imagine. My child, let your heart rest even now as I speak peace, courage, and unfailing love over you. As you move forward with an open heart, understand that doubt and struggle are not foreign to me. I see each question you carry, each restless night where you wonder about your place and your purpose. Nothing is hidden from me, not your fears, not your disappointments, not even those moments when you wish to turn away or hide. In every lonely hour, I am beside you, patient and unwavering. My love is not fragile. It does not ebb and flow with circumstance. It is steadier than the ground beneath your feet, stronger than the mountains that frame your world. I draw close even when you feel furthest away and whisper hope into corners of your soul you thought were abandoned. You may wrestle with the weight of your own expectations, tangled in past regret or anxiety about the future, but I do not stand back and watch you struggle alone. I am your comfort, offering shelter and peace in the storm. When you seek answers and find only silence, do not interpret that as absence. Often that silence is my invitation to rest, to cease striving for a moment and feel the quiet strength of my presence filling the spaces between your thoughts. You are not asked to be perfect, to have flawless faith or unshakable certainty. I ask only for your willingness to come as you are, to bring your joys and your bruises to me, for nothing is wasted in my hands. Let me teach you the art of surrender not as weakness, but as wisdom. To release your grip on the outcome is to open your hands wide to my abundance. Every step toward trust is a step into true freedom, a slow untying of the knots that constrict your heart. Yes, there will be days when disappointment tries to convince you that hope is foolish, that love is conditional, and that you are alone in the wilderness. But look up, even now, and you will glimpse the gentle way I go before you, preparing paths, placing signs, and sending comfort through unlikely sources. There is nothing you wrestle with that I have not seen, no story so complicated that it cannot be redeemed. My plan for you is intricate and beautiful, tailored to your soul, not measured by the world's scales, but by the deep wisdom of my heart for you. Your failures do not define you here. In my presence, every misstep is a place where new growth can push through, where ashes can soften into fertile soil. Sometimes, I may ask you to wait, to trust that goodness is being woven in the stillness. Waiting is not punishment, but preparation. In the quiet, your spirit is strengthened for the season to come. I shape you in unseen ways, cultivating patience, resilience, and faith that can withstand the tempests ahead. Even now, if the waiting aches, I speak life into hopeful expectation, assuring you that delay is not denial, and that nothing surrendered to me returns void. You do not travel this path alone. Each time your spirit is heavy with longing or frustration, recall that I carry you with a tenderness that cannot be exhausted. When you feel overlooked, I am attentive. When you feel inadequate, I am your sufficiency. When you stand before closed doors, I am already guiding you to ones you have not yet imagined. Trust in my timing, and do not fear the unknown, for I am already present in your tomorrows, refining and restoring, orchestrating the blessings that await. Within every storm, I am your anchor. Even when the wind howls and waters rise, I hold you secure. My presence does not shield you from every hardship, but gives you strength and clarity to move through them. You may not always understand why trials come or why answers seem delayed, but I promise you that nothing is wasted in my kingdom. Every tear shed in honesty, every moment you persevere in faith, is precious to me. I gather up your hurts and weave them into my greater story, turning what was broken into a testimony of hope and restoration. Do not underestimate what I can do with your willingness, your humble trust, and your honest prayers. In your weakness, my strength is made perfect. Take refuge in knowing that you do not earn my favor or love with performance. It is my gift to you, unearned, freely given, and forever steadfast. Let me remind you that identity grounded in me is unshakable. Your worth does not depend on what you have achieved or what others have spoken over you. I call you beloved, chosen, and precious. Rest in that reality. Even when the voices around you sow uncertainty or compare you to others, my truth stands firm. You are created with purpose, embraced with compassion, and called to a life abundant with meaning. Lift your eyes from the endless tally of shortcomings or the shifting opinions of the world. Draw near to me and find peace in being fully seen, fully known, and fully loved. Let that acceptance become your foundation, displacing shame and insecurity. I delight in the uniqueness of your journey, the scars and triumphs that make you who you are. Bring every broken part of yourself to me, trusting that I am a gentle mender, skilled at restoring even the places you thought were lost beyond repair. In the stillness, allow my voice to speak hope into your uncertainties. There will always be unanswered questions, hard seasons, and moments when your strength falters. That is not failure, it is an invitation to let me carry what you cannot. My strength is not only for your mountaintops, but especially for your valleys, for your nights of wrestling and days of exhaustion. When you doubt, remember that faith is not the absence of questions, but the willingness to trust even as you keep asking. I honor your honesty, your vulnerability, when you confess your struggles instead of hiding them. For nothing grows in the darkness of shame, but in the light of my love, even the most fragile hope can flourish. I do not turn away from your struggles. I lean in, reaching for you with mercy and guidance. As you surrender more to me, you will begin to recognize my fingerprints all over your life in small moments of grace, unexpected relief, and the quiet assurance that you are never truly alone. Let your heart rest for a moment in the knowledge that I am patient with your progress, never rushing your process or shaming your pace. I celebrate each small step toward me, each act of courage, each softening of your heart. You are not a project to be fixed, but a beloved child to be guided and cherished. My plans for you are not thwarted by your weakness, nor diminished by your lack of clarity. I take what is humble and uncertain and turn it into something resilient and beautiful. Allow me to renew your mind, to gently correct the lies you have believed and replace them with my enduring truth. I am present in your daily routines, your failures and successes, your laughter and your tears. In every detail I see you, I value you, and I walk with you. As you keep trusting, even imperfectly, you will find that I am more than enough, supplying every need and redeeming every moment surrendered into my care. You have heard before that storms are inevitable, and yet I tell you, each storm carries within it a seed of transformation. As the wind howls and the rain falls hard against the windows of your heart, I am ever present beside you, holding you with a love that does not falter. There are times you wonder if your fragile vessel will withstand the waves, whether the anchor of your faith will truly hold. Know this, I am your anchor, stronger than stone, surer than any promise you've yet to see fulfilled. When confusion swirls around your mind and despair whispers that you are alone, close your eyes and draw near to me. I have not abandoned you. In your valleys I walk as close as your own breath, counting every heartbeat, every hidden tear. I do not shy away from your weakness, for it is in your need that you discover my sufficiency. Your strength was never meant to sustain you. It is my power which lifts you up. There is a kind of peace I offer that defies circumstance, a joy that does not depend on what tomorrow brings. You sometimes search for signs, for bright, clear answers and guarantees, but I move deeper, stirring hope where hope seems impossible, calling forth light from places still wrapped in shadow. Remain open to my voice in unexpected places, a gentle encouragement from a stranger, a memory of grace, the silence of early morning when the world is hushed and your soul aches to be filled. Sometimes I let familiar things fall away, not to leave you empty, but to make space in you for more of myself. Loss and disappointment are not the end, though their ache might feel final. Inside these seasons of pruning, your spirit is set free from old attachments that cannot carry the weight of your calling. I see the internal battles you fight, the longing to do right warred with the stumbling of imperfection. I see when guilt tries to tether you to yesterday's failures. Hear me call to you now. Do not let shame or regret define the limits of your future. My forgiveness is not rationed or reluctant. It is deep, and it is new for you every day. Where you have failed, I already made provision for your restoration. Lean into my mercy, as you would lean into a mighty current after exhaustion. I do not bring up your weakness to condemn you, but to invite you upward, to show you who I made you to be: beloved, courageous, resilient. I am patient with your process, more patient than you are with yourself. I do not rush the story I am writing in you. Every chapter has meaning, even the ones shaded with sorrow and waiting. You might look around and wonder why some seem to soar while you feel stuck on the ground. Do not compare the beginnings of your journey to someone else's victories. I have a unique path for you, with curves and detours and quiet triumphs hidden from the world's view. Trust that your season is not wasted. Every small act of love, every hidden act of faithfulness, is seen and cherished by me. You plant seeds of kindness, truth, and hope into ground you may never see flower. But I am the Lord of the harvest. In time, what you have sown in tears will bloom in joy. This is my promise, not dependent on your strength to believe, but on my faithfulness to fulfill. Your soul is often drawn in many directions: responsibilities, fears about the future, and the longing to be useful pull at you until your spirit feels frayed. Come away with me. Let us walk together a while. You do not have to earn your place. In my presence, a weary whisper is all it takes to have my full attention. Take a breath now. Set down the weight of expectations. I delight in you as you are, even as I gently call you forward into more. Learn to listen to the gentle nudges of my spirit, a pause to offer kindness, a prompting to let go of a grudge, a sudden urge to sing, or to cry, or to simply be still. These are moments where eternity breaks into your ordinary day, and where I shape you quietly, far beneath the surface. There are gifts I've placed within you, some seen, some still dormant and waiting for the season of awakening. You do not need to strain to make something happen. Rest assured that what is meant for your life cannot pass you by if your heart remains open to me. Allow yourself to dream in my presence, to imagine possibilities beyond what you have dared before. Failure is not the end with me. Rather, it is the soil in which new beginnings take root. Trust. My timing, the slowness you perceive, is not delay or punishment, but the gentle ripening of something sacred inside you. I take joy in your progress, however small it may seem to you. Celebrate your yes to me, your perseverance in days that feel routine or unseen. Faith is not a spectacle, it is a steady walk. In each unremarkable moment, my grace is at work within you, crafting a greater story than you could yet perceive. Do not worry if you cannot see the end from here. I hold your tomorrows as surely as I hold your present. With every step I go before you, setting order to what seems chaotic, drawing goodness from even the hardest of circumstances. If today you feel vulnerable, remember that vulnerability is not weakness but invitation. Let me into your deepest places, your desires, your longings, even your doubts. I am not intimidated by your questions, nor do I recoil at your fears. In your honesty, you will find me closer than ever. There is room in my heart for all of you. You are safe to unfold, to learn, to grow, and to begin again as many times as you need. My patience does not run out, for I love you not for your perfection, but because you are mine. The journey ahead will have more twists, more unforeseen turns, but you are being led by the one who sees far beyond the horizon. Look for me in the ordinary, in laughter, in quiet evenings, in the faces of those you love, and even in your encounters with strangers. Every moment contains the possibility of encountering my love anew. Do not fear missing my will. Your desire to please me is already a precious act of faith. Continue walking, trusting not in your clarity, but in my unwavering commitment to bring you safely through. My hand is upon you always, shaping your story for goodness and glory. I see how you long for closeness and assurance, often feeling as if you are searching for a whisper in the wind, hoping for some tangible sign that I am with you. Let me reassure you now, you are never truly alone, no matter how silent the world becomes or how distant you feel from others. I am nearer than your own breath, so gently woven into the fabric of your being that my presence cannot be cut away by circumstance or sorrow. There have been moments in your life when darkness and confusion seemed overwhelming, when pain became a heavy garment you could not shrug off. In those seasons, every tear that escaped your eyes was counted by me, for your suffering matters to me deeply. I do not watch from afar, unmoved. I incline myself close to you in every struggle. Even when you cannot sense my touch or voice, know that I am working in quiet ways to lift tomorrow's hope from today's ashes. You might wonder why trials are allowed to brush against your life, why hardships press so tightly some days. My child, every difficulty you face is known to me in detail. I allow only that which, in my wisdom, can be shaped into something for your good. Trials develop a hidden strength within you, a faith that is not shallow but deeply anchored. Just as gold is refined by fire and seeds push through the soil's resistance to reach the sun, I use these pressures to awaken possibility and growth that comfort alone could never accomplish. Resist the urge to run from the uncomfortable. Instead, lean into my presence there, for you will discover a deeper well of grace than you have ever known before. Sometimes you look at your hands and believe the little you hold could never be enough. I see every act of kindness you offer, every humble attempt to do what is right, even when your efforts seem small or unrecognized by others. Give your offerings to me, just as they are imperfect but sincere. I have always used ordinary things with extraordinary power. In my kingdom, nothing is wasted and nothing is too insignificant. With me, the smallest seed can grow into a mighty tree. The faintest spark can kindle a great fire. There is a sacred significance in your everyday faithfulness, even in tasks that seem invisible or thankless. Let me speak to the doubts that whisper in your heart, those nagging suspicions that my promises are for others but not for you. I am a promise-keeping God, unfailing in my faithfulness. What I have spoken is not forgotten in the passage of time. Sometimes the waiting tests your heart deeply, stretching belief until it feels frail. Know that delays are not denials. They are an invitation to trust me more deeply, to learn that my timing is perfect, even when it differs from your desires. Your life is not random or overlooked. Every chapter, even those that feel unfinished or out of place, is woven into a story of redemption. In moments of restlessness and impatience, when you are tempted to grasp for control or forge your own way, remember that surrender is not defeat, it is the pathway to peace. Release your clenched fists and open your hands before me. Bring me your fears, your disappointments, your plans. I do not turn away from the honest cries of your soul. In your vulnerability, you invite my strength. My power is made perfect in your weakness, not in your self-sufficiency. Let this truth settle deep. You do not have to carry what was never meant for your shoulders. Trust that I am carrying you. As you walk the path set before you, it is easy to compare your journey to that of others. You see those who appear to have easier roads or more visible victories, and you question your own worth or progress. But you are not called to walk their path. You are invited to walk with me on yours. Your story is unique, handcrafted with purpose, marked by beauty that sometimes shows itself only in hidden corners. I delight in you not because of your accomplishments or perfection, but simply because you are mine. Do not waste precious energy envying another's season. Instead, ask what gifts this present step holds for you. There is a tendency to look backward with regret, rehearsing old wounds or wishing for different choices. Yet I call you to live in today, to recognize that each new morning is a gift, a canvas yet unpainted. My mercies are new with the dawn, not recycled, not leftover, but fresh and tailored for the needs of this very day. Let forgiveness wash over where you have failed or been wounded. I long for you to walk in freedom, leaving behind burdens meant only for yesterday. At the same time, do not fret over uncertainties in the future. I hold tomorrow securely. Your responsibility is not to map out every detail ahead, but to follow me step by step, trusting that I see around every corner. When anxiety rises within you, urging you to rehearse every possible outcome or to anticipate troubles that have not yet arrived, I invite you to quiet your heart in my presence. Bring your burdens to me, not just in rushed moments, but as an intentional act of surrender. I do not require eloquent prayers or specific words. I cherish the simple turning of your attention, the willingness to open your heart. Let my peace, which surpasses understanding, guard your heart and mind in ways you cannot always explain. True calm comes not from circumstances falling into place, but from knowing you are held by one who is unchanging. There are seasons when you will feel guided and inspired, joy bubbling easily within. Celebrate those moments, but also know that joy is not the absence of hardship, it is the presence of hope, of me, with you, in all things. Your life is a tapestry of both pain and celebration, sorrow and laughter, all stitched together with threads of my constant love. Learn to recognize my presence not only in dramatic answers to prayer, but in the gentle provisions of each day. A timely word from a friend, the beauty of nature, the quiet strength to keep going. These are my gifts, tokens of affection scattered along your path. As you grow in grace and truth, set your mind on what is good, beautiful, and true. Guard your thoughts, for they shape your perceptions and responses far more than you might think. Where discouragement tries to take root, replace it with my promises. Where cynicism whispers that nothing can change, remind your heart of my power to restore and renew. Let gratitude become your anchor, a practice that shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already given. In this, you learn to see through my eyes, to notice goodness even in the midst of imperfection, and to trust that the story I am writing is far from over. If you feel at times that the journey stretches endlessly ahead, and you are weary from travel, you are not mistaken. Life often winds on longer than you first suppose, and your heart may ache for a destination, a sense of home, a moment's rest. But let your soul receive this word. I never meant for you to walk alone or to carry the full weight on your own shoulders. What burdens you now? Entrust to my steady, loving hands. I do not despise your weariness. I see the small, often unnoticed ways you remain faithful, even when no one else applauds your endurance. In those quiet sacrifices, know that I am closer than breath, and I record each effort with tenderness. When your faith feels thin, remember that I delight more in your return to me than in your perfection. Each time you turn your thoughts and trust toward me, even haltingly, you are choosing life at its deepest level. I am the shelter you long for when storms gather. Let your spirit rest beneath my covering, for no storm is too wild, no darkness too thick, to overcome my presence with you. There will always be voices internal and external that whisper doubts about your worth, possibilities, or future. Hear my voice amidst them. I do not measure you against impossible standards or compare you to others. I delight in the person I created you to be, with your unique blend of strengths and struggles. Instead of striving for what you imagine will earn my favor or others' approval, pause and receive this truth. I have already chosen you out of love, and my plans for you stretch wider, deeper, and higher than you dare to dream. When disappointment knocks, when friends misunderstand, when even your own heart condemns you, let my steadfast assurance become your anchoring truth. I will not abandon you, not even when you question everything, not even in the moments when you think you have failed beyond repair. As you walk further, you may feel the landscape changing, old rhythms slipping away, new challenges rising like unexpected hills on your path. Do not fear these changes. Growth always brings discomfort, just as seeds must split and surrender their shells before they can rise green and strong from the earth. In every season, whether of loss or renewal, I am working beneath the surface, awakening strength, fortifying your character, making beauty even from your pain. When the familiar feels stripped away, do not cling to what once was. Open your hands to what I am shaping now. I often hide my richest blessings in unlikely places, so search for me even in your disappointments and uncertainties. Perhaps you wonder why prayers sometimes seem to drift unanswered, as if caught in the silence between earth and heaven. I assure you, not a single tear or sigh escapes my notice. There are mysteries in the waiting, not punishments, but invitations to lean closer, to learn the cadence of my voice guiding you, step by steady step. In your longing and hope deferred, I am quietly aligning all things for your good, even weaving together what you cannot yet see. Trust does not always come easily, but it can grow even in hard soil. Water it with honesty. Let your doubts and questions draw you nearer, not further away. I am not angered by your wrestling. In fact, I honor it, for it means your heart is alive and seeking. Be patient, for my timing is intended to bless, not to withhold. In the fullness of time, you will look back and recognize my careful hand through every delay and detour. When your heart is tempted by fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, let my love speak louder. You are not defined by the verdicts of others or the shadows of your past. I have called you beloved, even before you achieved a single thing or spoke the right words. Stand in this identity. Remember, those who learn to live from my love, rather than simply strive for my approval, find themselves transformed in ways that striving could never produce. Shame loses its grip in the light of my compassion. Each morning is a new beginning with me. There is always more grace, more than you can exhaust, more than you can ever need. When you falter, let the name you call first be mine, for I am eager to help, not to shame. Sometimes the cares of life press so heavily that you forget what it is to hope. In such moments, recall that hope is not a thin wish or hollow positivity. Hope is the quiet assurance I pour into your deepest places, the resolve that no night is endless, no wound without the possibility of healing. When your vision grows dim, fix your gaze not on what you fear, but on my faithfulness. I still create beauty out of brokenness. I still resurrect what you believe is lost. No failure or setback has the power to define your future. My mercies reach to the farthest horizon, and my promises never expire. Draw courage from the community I've cultivated around your life. You are not meant to journey alone. When isolation tempts you, seek out others who point you back to my love. Be gentle with yourself and with those around you, for all are walking their own difficult roads, trusting for light in their valleys. Offer what you have: a word of kindness, a listening ear, an act of compassion. In giving, you will find your soul nourished. There is enough for you and for them. My supply does not run dry. Let gratitude blossom, even when you see only the first hints of change. Thankfulness shifts your perspective and opens your heart to further gifts. Even amid confusion, cultivate gratitude for my presence, which never wavers. Remember, you are not striving to attain a distant affection, you are living within my love, here and now. Allow my presence to fill the ordinary moments, for there you will discover unexpected joy and enduring peace. Every day, new mercies are set before you like manna in the wilderness. Do not worry about tomorrow's strength while I am providing what you need for today. Rest in the rhythm of trust. Take each step as it comes, knowing I walk beside you, delighting in your journey, supplying every need, inviting you into deeper fellowship with me. I rejoice in your progress, and I am not discouraged by your stumbles. If you listen closely, you will notice how my voice guides gently, never coercing, always calling you toward fullness and freedom. The more you tune your heart to this song, the less you will be moved by anxiety or regret. My wisdom grows in you as you walk, decision by decision, turning your ear to my leading. Let this quiet confidence fill you. Nothing is wasted. All you offer, all you endure, all you hope and pray, and dare to believe I am weaving it into a story more beautiful than you could compose on your own. There is a depth within your spirit that I long for you to discover, a place where joy is not dependent on circumstance, but springs from my presence that dwells within you. Though at times the world places burdens on your shoulders and restless thoughts swirl in your mind, I invite you to place every weight and care at my feet. Trusting me is not simply an act of willpower, but a surrender that leads to freedom, a releasing of what you were never meant to carry alone. Bring me your anxieties, your sense of lack, your disappointments, and watch how I exchange them for peace, provision, and healing. I am not distant or inattentive. My ear is turned to your every whisper. My eyes miss nothing that troubles your soul. Let this become your refuge, the place where you lay down your striving and take up life anew with me as your strength and song. There are moments when your heart feels tired, when the routines and responsibilities seem endless. In those moments, pause and remember that your value does not come from how much you can accomplish or how perfectly you can perform, but from the simple reality that I created you, love you, and choose you every day. You are seen, you are known. You are enough not because of your own merits, but because I have declared it so over you. Listen closely. When the voice of shame seeks to remind you of failures, or when doubt tries to convince you that you are alone, answer with the truth that I am with you, and my voice is the one that defines your worth. Your journey with me is not measured by the absence of struggle, but by the presence of perseverance, by the courage to rise each day and trust in my goodness, even when the path is unclear. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to lean on me, to discover new dimensions of my grace. Do not fear your moments of weakness, for my power is made perfect there. Where you see frailty, I see potential. Where you feel you have reached your limits, I see a new chapter beginning. I am the one who never grows weary, who never stops believing in you, even when you struggle to believe in yourself. Let me remind you that I am weaving a story out of your life, more beautiful and intricate than you can imagine. I see the beginning and the end, the victories and the battles, the seasons of growth and the times of waiting. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Even now, I am using all things, joys and sorrows alike, to shape your character, deepen your compassion, and fuel your hope. In your pain, I draw near with comfort. In your uncertainty, I offer wisdom beyond the wisdom of this world. In your searching, I remind you that above all, you are already found in me. Remember, faith is not about the absence of questions, but about bringing those questions to me. Bring your doubts, your wrestlings, your longing to understand, and let them become a place of encounter rather than fear. I am not threatened by your struggles. Instead, I invite you to let these honest conversations deepen our relationship. When you feel lost or overwhelmed, call on me. You will sense my nearness in the quiet encouragement, the unexplainable peace, the gentle nudges that guide you forward. My love is relentless, persistent, unable to be separated from you by your circumstances or mistakes. I see how you seek to love others, sometimes pouring out even when you feel empty. Know that I am the well that never runs dry. When you draw from my love, you will find your capacity renewed, your patience expanded, your mercy multiplied. Let your actions flow from your relationship with me, not as obligations, but as joyful participation in my heart for the world. Every act of kindness, every quiet sacrifice, every unspoken prayer is precious to me. I see your desire to make a difference, to leave behind something meaningful. Trust that your life, surrendered into my hands, will bear far more fruit than you can measure in this moment. You may sense that you are in a season of planting, where the soil is being tilled with tears, and the seeds you sow do not yet show signs of growth. Remember, In the hidden places beneath the surface, I am at work. There are roots being established, resilience being built, hope being anchored. Do not despise small beginnings. What starts as a single act of faith or a whispered prayer can blossom into a harvest you cannot now imagine. If you feel weary in the waiting, draw near to me. Let each day be an act of trust, each moment a declaration that I am faithful to complete what I have begun in you. It is not shame that calls you to grow, but love. My invitation is not into striving, but into abiding, dwelling in my love, letting my words shape your thinking, allowing my spirit to guide your actions. Transformation is my gift to you, not your responsibility to manufacture. Open your heart wide and let me teach you how to walk in freedom, how to forgive fully, how to celebrate the unique way I have made you. There is no other like you, and your presence in the world is no accident. You are a bearer of my image, a carrier of my light, placed precisely where you are for a purpose only you can fulfill. Release comparison and the burdens of expectation. Let your heart rest in the assurance that being who I created you to be is enough. When life brings storms, when disappointment, grief, or uncertainty threaten to overwhelm, anchor your soul in the unwavering truth of my character. I do not change. My promises are not altered by your emotions or your circumstances. In the fiercest winds, I remain your refuge. My arms stretch out to shelter you, to shield you from harm, to draw you closer into safety. Let me strengthen your trust, for I will never abandon you. Even when you feel far away, I am holding you closer than your own breath. Lean into me, for my faithfulness is your anchor, and my love your unshakable foundation. Hear again this truth. You are loved without reservation, seen without disguise, cherished beyond measure. Nothing you have walked through can diminish my affection for you. Nothing you have yet to do can increase my delight. My love is the steady foundation beneath every circumstance. Learn to see as I see, to value what I value, to find joy not in the fleeting successes of the world, but in the eternal reality of being mine. As you draw near, you will begin to reflect my heart, to recognize the worth I place in every person you meet, and to build your life on the unshakable hope I provide. Even as you walk deeper into the unfolding of my purposes, remember that the valleys are not spaces of abandonment, but of profound intimacy between us. I am not far off in those moments when shadows seem long and the way unclear. I have always known how easily your heart tires when hope is deferred, and how quickly the mind can wander to doubt. But let me assure you once more, my gaze never leaves you. There are layers of my love you have barely begun to know, and in hard places these layers are revealed, not withheld. As you step gently over the stones of your trials, I am present, shaping you with wisdom deeper than all your understanding. I am the voice in the silence, the anchor when waves rise unexpectedly, the certainty when little in your world seems sure. You are permitted to bring every question, every ache, every longing. It is not your resolve I require, but your willingness to remain open to what I am doing even when your prayers do not receive immediate answers. Some of your most persistent struggles are gifts meant to draw you ever closer, to teach you trust in the dark, and to uncover in you a resilience that is a reflection of my own endurance. If you listen, you will hear how the pain can soften, how even longing can become prayer, how emptiness can turn to expectation. I desire that you abandon the belief that disappointment must always follow your hope. Instead, let hope reshape you. Dare to hope again, to believe I am still weaving goodness from the threads you cannot see. In this space of quiet surrender, your spirit will find rest, and your heart will be nourished. I understand how fear masquerades as wisdom sometimes, convincing you to play it safe, to hold tightly to control, and not trust where I lead. But faith was never meant to be lived behind walls. It flourishes in risk, a willingness to follow when nothing is promised but my presence. My spirit is given not to correct every detail at once, but to walk with you, day by day, making you aware of each opportunity to choose love, to reject bitterness, and to see with my eyes those around you. Growth is not measured by how quickly you overcome, but by how faithfully you remain present, both with me and with yourself. Beware the pressure to perform. I have never valued you for what you can achieve. I delight in who you are: precious, chosen, known. There are moments you feel unseen, your struggles unnoticed, but nothing escapes my notice. No tear shed, no silent prayer, no small act of faith goes unobserved. My memory is perfect, my awareness all-encompassing. Each sacrifice, each decision made for good when it would be easier to choose another way, echoes throughout eternity. I measure time differently from you. I see the tapestry that is being formed by every unseen choice. If you lose heart, remember this: every seed sown in faith, no matter how small, will one day yield a harvest of joy that you cannot yet imagine. In these daily invitations to courage, to be real, to forgive, to wait, there is hidden the secret of true freedom. You are not bound by outcomes. You are anchored in me. My invitation to you is not one of duty, but of relationship. Only through an ongoing, living connection with my heart will your own become whole. When you are lonely, I am nearer than your breath. When you are afraid, I stand between you and all that would harm you. When guilt weighs on your mind, remember how eagerly I forgive, how fully I restore. Nothing is wasted. Even your mistakes become seeds which, when surrendered, are pressed into the soil of redemption. Others may not understand your journey or the dreams I have placed within you. That is not required. I give you freedom from comparison, from envy, from need for approval. I desire that you inhabit your unique place in my design with joy, confident that you lack nothing necessary for this season. The battles you face are not signs of my displeasure, but of your importance to my story. I did not promise ease, but I did promise myself. Therefore, lay down your fears of failure and open your life to surprises. Sometimes, my greatest gifts are disguised in what you would never choose, yet their unfolding is marked with my hands. As you make room in your day for my presence, you will discover that I am more than you have dared to hope. Give me access not only to your strengths, but your secret wounds and disappointments. I am gentle with the fragile places, patient with the slow unfolding of trust. I speak softly when you need reassurance, and with clarity when you are ready for new steps. Discernment comes in the waiting. Vision grows in adversity. Do not despise these days of small beginnings or delays. They are holy ground, charged with promise, the very incubators of miracles not yet seen. I am a father who delights in you, who celebrates your joys and grieves your sorrows. My compassion is deeper than your questions, more enduring than your worst fears. When you do not know what to pray, simply rest in my embrace. Let your sighs come to me, for I interpret the language of your heart. The future is not as uncertain as it appears. Your times are safely held in my hands. You can cease your striving to deserve my love. I have chosen you, long before you ever responded to me. Your name is whispered with delight in the courts of heaven. My favor surrounds you even now, unfolding in ways visible and invisible. When your heart is heavy for others, know that your intercession matters. The prayers you pray in secret are powerful. They align you with my intentions and draw my mercy into the broken places of the world. Never believe that your prayers are pointless or weak. I use them to move mountains, to soften hearts, to open doors no one else could open. Yours is not to calculate the results, but to stand faithfully in the gap. Yield to me the outcomes. I will surprise you with the breadth of my goodness, with answers that honor not only your requests, but also your deepest needs. Even now I am stirring in you fresh courage and hope. Release what you cannot carry. Let your yes be simple, and your surrender wholehearted. I am with you in this gentle unfolding, carrying you from glory to glory, making all things new. In every moment that you have leaned upon me, even when your understanding was limited and your faith fragile, I have knit my presence around you. I see how the long road has carved questions into your heart. Let me assure you, nothing along this path is wasted. The hidden tears, the silent frustrations, the times when hope flickered like a dying ember, none of it escapes my attention. I gather each moment, treasuring what you surrender to me, working quietly in the unseen to bring forth fruit that will last through every season. Do not be deceived by the small beginnings or the slow growth. I am the faithful gardener, nurturing what I have planted within you. I am calling you to see with the eyes of your spirit, to look beyond outward circumstances and hear the truth of my voice above every other. There is so much clamoring for your attention, noise to distract, fears to paralyze, invitations to give up. When you sit quietly with me, your soul finds the true center, and my peace settles like gentle rain. You were never asked to carry burdens alone. At each heavy point I have been beside you, sometimes carrying what you could not, sometimes strengthening you as you pressed on. Even now, in this very moment, I wrap you in my companionship. Am I not enough to satisfy the deepest hunger within you? When you turn to me with questions, do not fear your doubts or your longing for answers. Bring them close. Lay your uncertainties at my feet, for I am the safe place where you can be completely known and still wholly loved. Many have reached for assurance by trying to control their worlds, fix their own hearts, or predict what the future will hold. Yet I invite you to open your hands and receive the security that comes from trusting the one who holds time, every detail, every possibility. I work with a patience that is infinitely loving, and I am not frustrated with your process. My grace is always enough for you, growing stronger when you feel weak. You have wondered if your offering is too small, your faith too thin to move my heart. Remember, I see not just the action, but the motive beating beneath it, the trembling yes in the darkest hours, the choice to love when it costs something. These are the moments I draw closest, for what you bring, given honestly, becomes sacred in my hands. I am never measuring your worth by the standards of those around you, nor do I compare your journey to another's. I am writing your story with loving intention, celebrating every chapter even as you question the plot. Nothing is ordinary when given in love. Nothing is wasted when surrendered to me. My voice still whispers in quiet places, and I am always available for you to hear. Silence the other influences. Tune your ear to the assurance that I give. My words are not empty. They hold life, hope, restoration. I do not speak to confuse or condemn, but to guide, to uplift, and reshape your vision. There may be times when my answer is not immediate, or when my guidance seems contrary to the wisdom of the world. You are learning to distinguish my way, and there is joy in discovering how my thoughts are higher and my love wider than you can yet fathom. Let my spirit breathe encouragement into you now. Let every disappointment that hangs heavy become an opening for greater trust. Let every confusion be answered not always with explanations, but with a deeper experience of me. I did not call you to walk a path of certainty, but of relationship, one where faith grows stronger in the mystery. When you step out, not knowing what the next moment will hold, you honor me more than you realize. Your trust is the currency of my kingdom, and I joyfully multiply every investment you make in me. There are times when it may seem easier to withdraw, to protect yourself from further disappointment, to close off places that have been wounded. But I have not called you to shrink back. I have designed you for fullness. Every place that aches, every longing that seems unfulfilled, is known to me. And in my timing I bring restoration and beauty. You are not defined by your struggle or your pain, but by my unchangeable love and the hope I have placed inside you. Lift your gaze. What you see is not all their island. I am always at work, weaving redemption into every story surrendered into my care. The journey with me is not about perfection or performance, but about dependence and trust. I rejoice not in what you accomplish for me, but in your choice to remain close, to be real and honest, and willing to receive. I desire relationship, not ritual, sincerity, not show. Come as you are, for I meet you in the mess as much as in the moments of praise. I am the God who walked with the broken, who chose ordinary vessels to demonstrate extraordinary love. Your inadequacies do not repel me. They are the places I most delight to fill. When fears threaten to overshadow your heart, return to the foundation we have built together. Remember who you are, beloved, chosen, sheltered under my wing. Let my love crowd out every lesser voice, for nothing can separate you from me. Not doubts, not failures, not even seasons of silence. See how I continually draw you back when you wander, always restoring, never condemning. You are not lost or forgotten, but precious and intentionally pursued. Trust that even now, new beginnings are at hand. I am making a way, even where you currently see none. I am parting the seas of impossibility, and what once seemed closed is opening before you. The doors I open, no one can shut. The hope I place within you grows resilient in hardship. I invite you to dream with me again, to believe for what you have not yet seen, to expect goodness to find you in unexpected ways. My kindness does not depend on your consistency, but on my unchanging character. I am committed to you for eternity. Stay soft to my urging, receptive to the whispers of my guidance. Yield to the gentle corrections, and lean deeply into the comfort I provide. Nothing delights me more than your willingness to be taught, to be shaped by my loving hand. I give wisdom freely to all who ask, and I cherish every question brought sincerely. I am not impatient with your learning, for every step forward is a celebration in my presence. I am invested in your transformation, and I will complete the good work I have begun in you. In the places of waiting and longing, know that I am never far. My delay is never denial, but preparation for more than you can imagine. Where you have prayed and not seen, trust, my timing is perfect. Where you have dreamed and not yet received, trust, my creativity is incomparable. Hold fast to hope, for I am a God who delights to surprise, who fills the empty with abundance, and who turns mourning to dancing in my perfect moment. Never stop expecting my goodness. Never cease from believing I am at work in every detail of your existence. You have traveled far in my presence, and yet our journey together only begins to unfold. Every page of your heart is known to me, even those you have not dared turn for fear of what might be written there. Nothing in you is hidden from my compassionate gaze. Remember, my love is never shocked, never turned cold by the confessions you bring, or the doubts you wrestle with in the night. I am your healer and your fortress, but also the gentle whisper that stirs hope from dormant dreams. Even when storms gather and your faith feels small, my nearness does not depend on your strength. I meet you exactly where you are, not where you imagine you ought to be. Let your burdens fall, for I alone can carry what weighs down your soul. Release the secret anxieties into my hands. I have not called you to journey with a heart full of bitterness or regret, but with the fresh possibility of renewal every morning. If you pause and listen deeply, you will sense the rhythm of my promises, singing quietly beneath the noise of your circumstances. They are not broken by your mistakes, or rendered void by your flaws. I delight in restoring what the world counts as lost. The seasons of waiting, the tears you have sown in silence, each one is known and collected in my eternal care. Nothing in your life is wasted when surrendered to me. Each hardship, each moment of loneliness, becomes a seed planted in good soil, and I, as the faithful gardener, will make it flourish in ways you cannot yet imagine. Trust that even in silence, I am working, weaving purposes beyond your understanding. Turn your eyes outward as well, for there are hearts within your reach aching for gentleness, for a word of hope that only you can give. As I have poured out my acceptance on you, let it overflow to others. Let compassion uproot criticism and patience quiet the urge to rush ahead. See each person as I see them, beloved, flawed, and full of possibility. Your kindness is never wasted. Every loving act, even the smallest, is precious in my sight. Carry my light where shadows linger, not with pride but with humility and the quiet confidence of one cherished beyond measure. No trial you face is beyond redemption. The deep wounds you carry, whether from the world or from your own choices, do not disqualify you from joy or from being an instrument of my peace. As you encounter your limits, remember they are not an end, but an invitation to lean on my limitless strength. Let my spirit fill the hollow places within you until courage replaces timidity and gratitude overtakes resentment. My power is made perfect not in you surpassing others, but in you welcoming me to dwell within your weakness. In every defeat, I offer new beginnings. In every brokenness, I am the mender. Hold fast to the truth that your value is not measured by the shifting standards of others, nor by your own restless striving. I have already called you worthy. You were formed in love and destined for a story greater than daily cares would have you believe. Resist the pull of comparison and the temptation to believe you are alone in your struggles. I am with you in every shadowed valley, and I have set your feet on the path toward freedom. The shackles of shame, fear, and self-accusation have no power before the name I have given you. Stand tall in that identity, for you belong not by merit, but by the unbreakable promise of my grace. Breathe deeply in this moment and know you are seen. There is no shame so dark that I cannot shine hope into it. No dream so fractured that I cannot gather the pieces. Place your hopes and your disappointments alike into my hands. The outcome is not yours to control, but the surrender brings peace that defies understanding. I love to bring beauty from ashes and to turn mourning into dancing. Let your heart dare to expect good things despite the evidence of yesterday's trials. My timing, though mysterious, is never late, and my intentions toward you are always good. Step forward in simple obedience, not held back by yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's uncertainties. Every day I set before you 100 new chances to live from love rather than fear, to choose forgiveness over blame, to create instead of criticize. Receive my joy as your strength, a joy rooted not in fleeting pleasures, but in the assurance of my unchanging affection. When you stumble, I do not count your failures against you. Hear my voice. I delight in you, and I delight in seeing you grow, however slow the journey may seem. Let gratitude fill the space where complaints once echoed. Notice the gifts woven quietly into the fabric of your days, a kind word, the warmth of sunlight, even the breath you take. These are tokens of my nearness, reminders that I am working in the ordinary just as surely as in the extraordinary. Practice thankfulness and watch as peace grows, softening the hard ground of worry and discontent. With each act of gratitude, you draw nearer to my heart and find yourself rooted more firmly in the present, where my presence is always most fully found. Be patient with yourself. Transformation is never immediate. It unfolds like the dawn, one beam at a time. I am not in a hurry as I shape Christ within you. When you fail, turn again to me without fear. I do not love you less in your weakness, nor more in your victories. My affection is the steady anchor for your soul, unwavering in tempests and calm alike. Listen closely. You are never forgotten. You are never beyond hope. My arms are always open, my forgiveness always ready, my plans for you always unfolding with care and wisdom far greater than your own. Live this day knowing that you, yes, you are the one for whom I have come near, the heart I seek, the beloved whom I call ever deeper into love. Let nothing steal this truth from you. I am not finished with your story, and every page yet unwritten holds the promise of new mercies. Abide in me, draw near to my love, and let every breath testify to your belonging and purpose. I am for you, I am with you, and I will never let you go. Amen. Now rise, beloved, and walk in the confidence of my love.